Well, for more, joining us live is Ukraine's ambassador to Australia, Vasyl Myroshnychenko. Vasyl, good morning to you. So Donald Trump is saying in a few weeks we will know one way or another. They said it was a difficult negotiation. Zelensky was praising Donald Trump. How did you find that meeting and the outcome there that we just heard from Zelensky and Trump?
It was a very productive meeting that just taken place, and this is the fifth meeting that President Zelensky has had with President Trump during this year, and certainly a lot has been discussed. As you know, one of the key priorities for Ukraine is receiving legally binding security guarantees from the U.S., but also from our European partners. So a lot of the documents have been drafted, a lot of things have been discussed, and of course, Ukraine is interested in achieving a lasting, comprehensive and just peace soon, and we welcome President Trump's commitment to achieving on that goal. Certainly, a lot will depend on Russia. So far, Russians have not demonstrated any interest in peace. Just over the weekend, they have organized a major attack at key civilian targets in Ukraine, primarily targeting energy and power supply and distribution to the people of Ukraine, especially when temperatures drop in Ukraine at the moment over the winter. They are making it especially difficult for the Ukrainians to go through this harsh weather period.
Donald Trump said that with his call to Vladimir Putin prior to the meeting that he just had with Zelensky, that a lot of good things came out of it. He was asked if he was agreeing to a ceasefire, and Donald Trump said that Vladimir Putin did not agree to a ceasefire, and that is one of the things that he is working on. How do you see this unfolding?
I believe the only way how we can force Russia into a ceasefire is to put more pressure on Russia, to impose more sanctions on Russia, to impose further restrictions on their ability to fund this war, making sure that Ukraine is properly equipped, making sure that Ukraine has enough air defense missiles as well as all other military capabilities we need to stop Russians at the front lines. That's the only way how we can force Russia into a ceasefire and into negotiations in good faith. So indeed, a lot will depend on what Russia is going to do, especially following from these talks in Florida. We've seen it before. We've gone through several stages of back and forth, and so far it was Ukraine that has been demonstrating willingness for peace, and Russia did not.
We know that we certainly hear a lot. Donald Trump is the person to make the deal. How confident are you that it will occur? What are you going to be wanting to see? Because many people don't believe that Vladimir Putin will make that deal and end the conflict.
I certainly cannot predict the future, and I can only communicate what we have at the moment and provide you an analysis. But certainly, so far, we can't achieve peace. I mean, we all know it without American commitment to that, without American security guarantees, without American backstop for the European troops who will be providing stabilization, who might be providing actually those reinforcement or stabilization troops on the ground. Or, you know, there are 12, 20 points which have been negotiated with our American counterparts. And our teams have worked very closely on the details of those 20 points, which are related to the size of our army, which are related to different other aspects, including Ukraine's European integration, because European integration for Ukraine is also part of security guarantee, where we could participate in a program called SAFE. And SAFE is part of defense spending that the EU has rolled out recently, and Ukraine hopes to be part of it, where we could use some of the EU money to produce weapons in Ukraine for the EU needs. And that's very important for our future. So certainly there are many things and many elements which are being detailed, which are being articulated and put in writing. But it all comes down to the willingness of Vladimir Putin to end this war. And for him, he hasn't delivered on his goal, because Putin's goal has always been from the very beginning of around destroying Ukraine and around, denying us of our own agency and destroying our sovereignty. He's only now controlling 20% of the territory. As you know, he wants more. He wants to have the territory he's not even controlling at the moment. And this is really ridiculous and definitely demonstrates that Russia has no intention of ending this war. I mean, let's see. I mean, I have to be cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. We've got to go. Vasyl, thank you as always.
Thanks for having me.